The Heart of Art is sponsored in part by the Texas A&M University Art Galleries, which includes the Stark and Forsyth Galleries located inside the MSC. The galleries provide a variety of opportunities to experience art exhibitions, events, and hands-on activities. More information at uart.tamu.edu. The Heart of Art is brought to you by the Academy for the Visual and Performing Arts at Texas A&M University, bringing innovative and culturally diverse visual and performing arts programming to Texas A&M University and the Brazos Valley. The Academy for the Visual and Performing Arts fosters the creativity of our community via the transformative power of the arts.
The Heart of Art, scoping the Brazos Valley for the best artists and bringing them to your radio. Howdy again, welcome back to the KMU studios. My name is Hector Nino and you're listening to The Heart of Art. Today in the studios, we have a very special guest. Her name is Leslie Bowlin. She is the Chief Executive Officer at the Arts Center of Brazos Valley, previously known as the Arts Council of Brazos Valley, and she has served as CEO since July of 2024. Previously, she was the Executive Director of the Houston Maritime Center and Museum, where she served for 10 years, and she has a strong focus on community-based art programs, so she is sure to do well at the Art Center of Brazos Valley. So, hi Leslie, how are you today?
Hello, Hector. So nice to be here.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you here. I know that there are some changes on the horizon coming with the Art Center, and recently I know that the name changed. Why was this change made? Is it symbolic of larger changes happening, or what's going on there?
Let's hope. It is to clarify who we are and what we do. The Arts Council, the original Arts Council, was formed over 50 years ago by a group of amazing people who envisioned the center of this art center that would be the Brazos Valley, and it's pretty amazing. So what we're doing is really just clarifying that. So we're evolving in a center now. When it was founded, it was really more of a figurative, it was an organization of people that wanted to support the arts and be able to share the arts with the population. And now that we have a building and we are hosting events, very interactive with the community, we felt that a center was a little bit clearer and easier to stop in and say hello.
Right, more precise, more welcoming as well.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Well, I'm excited for what's coming up next. But before we get into what's coming for the Arts Center, I'd like to get into your background and where your love for art began. So where are you from, and did your love for art start at an early age?
I would say yes, absolutely, it did. So I have it took a circuitous route to Texas, but so I'm a sixth generation Texan on my dad's side, but we lived in Europe when I was born in Germany, then we lived in Switzerland, and then we lived in France, and then I moved to the United States when I was 9 and grew up in Texas. Really loved it, and had family in France, and so I would spend summers in France, but then I would be an FFA and do other things.
Really? Okay.
Here, which is really very unusual. I'd say there aren't too many people that had that path, but It was wonderful. I grew up in Cyprus and spent summers in France and spent a lot of time visiting. My aunt was very knowledgeable and had just a passion for the arts. My whole family, my aunt, my grandmother, my great-grandmother. I was speaking with a lady that came in today, and we were talking about watercolors and how so many people have gravitated towards watercolors as their first introduction to the visual art medium. And my great-grandmother, my grandmother, all of them, that was just something people did. It's just that was really my first exposure, but mostly my aunt taking me to every museum on the planet. Multiple times, to the point where I just really, it was part of every trip that I took. I would go and see the exhibitions at various visual art, a lot of musical events. I went to the ballet with my grandmother, or the opera, or just a lot of varied exposure to the arts, and have just always gravitated toward that, and ended up continuing my journey. And interestingly enough, when I was in high school, I really wanted to attend. I was accepted at A&M. That's where I wanted to go to school.
Right.
And my father, who had graduated from the University of Texas, didn't think that was a great idea at the time.
Oh, no.
And also, it was just there was still the ratio of female to male was not to his liking.
Right.
And so I said, fine, then I'll just go to France. So I went to the Sorbonne.
Okay.
And that was just a phenomenal experience because Paris is really art. Every street corner, you could walk down a little tiny street, and the next thing you look up and there's the most beautiful building you can imagine, or you walk around the corner and it's just everything is literally a postcard. And so it's a feast for the senses, and I really was very fortunate to be able to do that. So I loved it. So that's really where all of that started.
Wow, I can't even imagine being exposed to so much from such an early age. I mean, from Germany to France and to the U.S. I mean, I'm sure you had a plethora of experiences from that. Do you speak more languages because of that?
I do. Well, I spoke French and English growing up at the same time. So I'm bilingual. I speak French, and so I did all my studies in French. And so I have a little bit of an ear, but I speak, obviously, French fluently, and I speak a lot of other languages, not so fluently, but enough to get around. So,
right. I mean, that's still awesome.
It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, I love that you bring this sort of multicultural view to the arts here, especially in the Brazos Valley. I know you've lived abroad. Why is it important for people to go out into the world and learn about different cultures?
Oh, gosh. Well, first of all, your neighbor is probably from somewhere else. I mean, very much so. The world has gotten to the point where none of us are really live where we're from, or we've experienced a lot of things. And I find it, to me, it's very interesting, the Brazos Valley, in looking at the demographics and looking at, really measuring, if you take a city like Houston, for example, that is so well known for an incredible art scene. If you look at the population, and I don't know, I need to find some mathematician to come up with this formula for me to see if it's true or not, but my feeling is that per capita there's more opportunity for art in the Brazos Valley than there is in many, many big cities, just if you look at the ratio of population to the opportunities. But there are so many wonderful, whether it's music, poetry, culinary arts. It's all about, there's just an artistic component to so many things. Yeah. And I think that this area is very fortunate to have such a rich appreciation. And then also on the other side, that partly due to the university, but just generally the population is very diverse and lots of cultures are represented. And so we want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to at least visit someone else's culture, and what's their music like, and what are the things that, and we can do that in so many ways. We have lots of mediums to be able to do that.
Right, yeah. And I can imagine that could only make art better, right?
Absolutely.
To just have different perspectives as well. So I know you were at the Houston Maritime Center. What type of work were you doing there, and how do you think it has prepared you now as CEO of the Art Center?
Well, I started, like many things in life, I started there by accident. I had a marketing PR firm in Houston for about 25 years. And
wow.
Prior to living, so after I finished school, I came back to Houston, started a business, did some, went to every possible continuing education class I could at Rice, or did all sorts of things. And then I did move to Japan after that for about a 5-year period, and then went back to Europe and spent time there. And there was this strange, growing up in Houston, so many people don't know that we have a port, or that there's a port. That Houston, the reason Houston is connected as such a global city is really because the fact that it's connected to the world through water, which is really Buffalo Bayou that's turned into the ship channel. Well, I met some people from, not the founder, he had recently passed away, but I was invited to visit little tiny museum, founder organization, based in Bel Air, which is not near the water unless there's a flood. And this gentleman had collected models. He was a naval architect. He an engineer. He collected models and artifacts from all over the world that related to the maritime sector, and his objective was to donate them to the Maritime Museum, assuming there was one in Houston, and there wasn't. And so, as you know, in Texas, when it doesn't exist, someone really is passionate about something, they just build it, and he did. And so I started getting involved with them, and then the next thing you know, I ended up being right there in the middle of it. And his dream was always for the museum to be housed on the water, in a logical place. And so kind of spent the 10 years that I was there getting us to that goal, getting them to the point where more people, there's a huge education component. There's a great opportunity there for career development in that sector is huge.
Really?
And there was just very little education outreach there. And so tying the corporate side and the community, these kids that now can have amazing opportunities that wouldn't necessarily, because they don't go to college, were there. So it was getting to see the education part of it. It was fascinating because obviously there's a lot of art. There's maritime art. There's the artistic side, the educational side, the community involvement. And so building something like that from a little tiny, it was literally in a house, to something that was going to benefit a lot of people, and it's fascinating. So that was really what I did, and I loved it. It was really a fun experience, and they're building it now, and it was just really an interesting time.
I mean, yeah, I can imagine that starting something from scratch completely has really helped you just carry through with projects, I think, and have that stamina to carry through with them. All right, you guys, we will be going on a quick break, but do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
Support for KAMU is provided by the Academy for the Visual and Performing Arts at Texas A&M University, advancing the arts on campus and in the Brazos Valley by offering opportunities for all community members to experience, study, and create art. This spring, the Academy will present Cattleland by multidisciplinary artist Chris Kallmeyer and the film Trash Dance by Forklift Danceworks. More information at academyarts.tamu.edu.
Why would you say that art is important for the community?
Oh gosh, it is on so many levels, and particularly nowadays when you see the stress levels that people have, that having that an opportunity, whatever it is that makes your heart sing or feeds your soul, or however you want to put it, if it's drawing, if it's listening to music, if it's playing music, if it's reading poetry, if it is creating something or just appreciating it, really, probably lowers your heart rate, I'm sure. That's a given. But it also, I think people are more interested in looking for things that they're passionate about. And I think overall it's the gift that you give yourself to be able to take the time to appreciate, like I said, visually or a sound or educationally. You could watch a documentary film that's just fascinating about a topic that you didn't know anything about. And so those are all the things that kind of connect those dots that I think are important. And again, this area is so rich with that, whether you want to go listen to a jazz trio or you want to, experience
chamber music.
Exactly.
Anything.
Chamber music, ballet, you name it, Broadway, it's all here. And that's really exciting. The opportunities are phenomenal. And I think that's the thing that is the most exciting to me, is the huge opportunities that are here to be able to help people find things that really impact them and make them happy, feel good, or just to some
enjoy
degree.
themselves, right?
Exactly.
Going back to that idea about big cities being less accessible for everyone, I do agree that the Brazos Valley is very accessible for anything that you want to try out. Even I think coming from another area of Texas and coming here, I just realized that I could pretty much do anything that I kind of wanted to try out. And so I've tried theater, I've tried singing, I've tried taekwondo, just any form of art. And that's something that I really love about this community as well. So what changes within the Arts Center are you looking forward to the most?
Well, I mean, some very basic things, that sort of physical things, in that we're trying to make it people be able to see it. So literally, we've like trimmed the trees so people could see it. Making the gallery itself, we've done, made some improvements, expanding it. We want to be recognized and really want to be a destination. So, if you've got people coming in for the weekend, just go and take a look and see if we have our exhibitions last anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. We have local artists. We have a variety of artists that are on exhibit throughout the year. We have workshops. We're starting in January. We'll relaunch a lot of the workshops that we'll be doing: watercolor workshops, photography, both for adults and some for children. We do children's camps throughout the summer that are just amazing. We have great instructors. We participate in outside of our building. We are also very involved with collaborations with other organizations. We have affiliates from all areas of the Brazos Valley, and that's one of the areas we want to grow, is to be able to really keep going and participate with organizations in Washington County, and we are involved with the Grimes County, Leon County, all of the counties that encompass the Brazos Valley, and take some of the programs that we have now that really work well and expand those. We do a summer program called Art for Life that we do now with the Brazos County that is focused on at-risk youth and that sort of summer programs, and they learn how to express themselves through poetry, visual arts, murals, outdoor, any sort of art. We're going to add a photography component to that because everyone's got a phone, so this would be a great way for them to do that.
Right.
And so looking for all these opportunities to collaborate with all of the potential opportunities that people have out there. We're working with, at the university in April, there is the World Shakuhachi Festival is due to take place here in April, and that is, the shakuhachi is a Japanese bamboo flute that's just really beautiful. And there is I think it's a semi-annual, probably biannual festival that takes place, and all of the big masters from all over the world come, and it's normally held in London or in Sydney and places like that. It's going to be in College Station in April. And so at the same time, in conjunction, so when we heard about that, we thought, well, there is a Japanese population here. There's a significant Asian population. Why don't we host a festival? And we hope to do this every year. So our first festival will run from March 11th through sort of mid-April. And it's a Japanese art festival, and we'll be exhibiting Japanese art, everything from woodblock prints and the technique to calligraphy to ikebana and bonsai and tea ceremony, all of these things that revolve around the Japanese culture and different forms of art. And hopefully we can do it every year. So I'm very excited about that.
Wow, that's awesome.
Great.
Yeah, there's so much Japanese art. Like, I can't wait for that. That's going to be great. So how can people become involved with the Art Center?
Ooh, lots of ways. Well, we have individual memberships. So if you're a member, you get to come to openings, and you get, a lot of information. You have information about any of our workshops sort of ahead of time. And that's really important. I mean, obviously we're supported through the local governments, but we also, obviously, to do the things in the programs that we do, we need help. And so memberships are great. Corporate memberships also, that's a super way to support us. And people can get involved in any way they want. We have a volunteer organization called STARS, and they help with all sorts of events. We do 2 events a year, 2 major events. One is called Celebrate the Arts, and that is an awards dinner, and it focuses on recognizing various people throughout the community that have contributed to the arts in various ways. And so there are a lot of opportunities to get involved, and whether it's physically in our building or recently we had someone that walked in to visit that lives in Washington County, and they're going to get involved with some of the artistic organizations there, and then again collaborate. So I'd say if we had to come up with one word, what do we hope to do is expand through collaboration with all of these awesome opportunities in the area.
Yeah, That's a great motto for this new era of the Arts Center. And I mean, I love that you're bringing people from all over the world here to College Station, putting us on the map. That's something that's
Well, I'm not bringing these Japanese people. That's through Professor Marty Reagan here.
oh right,
Who is doing that. I'm just saying, oh, sure, if you're doing that, let us, how can we help?
Right.
And so we're doing that. There'll be programs related to that we collaborate with the Bush Library. They're going to be doing stories. At the same time, they have a new stories program that they do for kids. And so we'll teach origami and talk about that and do things. So that's our plan, is to try to be able to expand and be able to work with different groups and different artistic forms to be able to show what happens around the world.
That's awesome. Yeah, supporting the arts all over the Brazos Valley. I mean, you've been all over the world. Why come serve here in the Brazos Valley?
Oh, because I love the area. So I've lived just south of Navasota, and originally it was just sort of for weekends, and then I kept having to drive to Houston. And thought, why am I doing this? This is not fun.
No, not at all.
And it was just time. I love the area, have for many, many years. So I kind of grew up this direction, and the people are lovely, and I think the exciting part is the opportunity that the Arts Center presents, not just to me, to be able to accomplish things that make a difference, but for the population. And so that really was a big draw for me. I like it here.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential here for sure.
Absolutely.
And it's just growing more and more every day. Well, do you have anything about the Arts Center or about art in general that you'd like our audience to know?
Well, I would like to invite everyone to come out and visit. We have tomorrow is the opening of our holiday market, and we've got vendors, a lot of really wonderful things, everything from the fiber arts to the visual arts to, handmade goat lotion and things like that. Ooh. So we've got a holiday market that's going to take place it opens tomorrow evening. There's a reception, and then it's all the way through December 19th.
Wow. So
perfect place for any sort of holiday shopping. Really, it's a lot of fun because it's all unique and really amazing items. And a lot of that from some of our affiliates, our studio artists. I mean, there's just a lot to see, and it'll be a lot of fun. The other thing that we've done is with our affiliates this year, we asked them all to decorate a holiday wreath themed for their organization. So we have, oh my gosh, the most awesome ballet wreath you've ever seen in your life.
Of course.
We've got everything from the ballet to the Red Cross to all of the theaters, just some wonderful artistic application on a holiday wreath, and we will be auctioning those. The proceeds will go to each one of the organizations that decorated wreaths. So there's a really awesome one from the American Museum of the GI, which is really cute. So if somebody is interested in that, so we've got about almost 30 of them, and they're really fantastic. Wow. So those will be auctioned off starting tomorrow until I think the auction closes December 5th, so you can take it home and put it on your door.
Okay.
But it's a great way for someone to support their organization. So if they're a supporter of the Brennan Children's Chorus, then their wreath is really pretty as well. So that's just something we were hoping to do to engage all of the affiliates and all of these organizations, and hopefully get them, at least some really nice revenue from their wreath. So that's going to be fun.
That's awesome. Such a great way to support.
And there's going to be a contest, too. We've got a panel that's going to judge them, and the top 5, we're going to put out for public vote, for the public to vote and their favorite. So it'll be fun.
All right. And where will that be held? Is it on social media where we can see the pictures of them? Or?
Yes. So they'll be on our website and on social media.
Okay.
And obviously you can come in and see. They're all in the second floor of our main gallery. And they're just really beautiful, even to go and look at something fun. It's just kind of a holiday exhibit. So.
Well, make sure to go check it out. And what are those socials so people can find you?
At Arts Center BV.
Okay, great.
Or on our website, which is acbv.org.
Well, Leslie Bowlin, thank you so much for stopping by and talking to us about being CEO at the Arts Center of Brazos Valley. I can't wait to see what you do with this organization.
Well, thank you, Hector. It's been a pleasure. Really excited about what we're doing and hope that everyone that's listening will come visit.
Alrighty, now to close off the show, we will be listening to a local band, and this is titled Americano by Skunk Money from the album Ego Deaf.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've been trying to think some more, and I hate to think of things I adore.
All right, now we will be listening to a song titled Blonde, performed by Skunk Money and their album Ego Deaf. I'm Hector Nino, and you've been listening to The Heart of Art, a production of 90.9 KAMU FM. You can find all of our shows anytime at kamu.tamu.edu.
The Heart of Art is brought to you by the Academy for the Visual and Performing Arts at Texas A&M University, bringing innovative and culturally diverse visual and performing arts programming to Texas A&M University and the Brazos Valley. The Academy for the Visual and Performing Arts fosters the creativity of our community via the transformative power of the arts. The Heart of Art is sponsored in part by the Texas A&M University Art Galleries, which includes the Stark and Forsyth Galleries located inside the MSC. The galleries provide a variety of opportunities to experience art exhibitions, events, and hands-on activities. More information at uart.tamu.edu.